Hey gang, Mocha Boy here. Got another unscripted episode for you. Gooj asked me to do a quick overview of the clan war setup procedure, just to make sure that we have everybody on the same page and so that everybody has the same information. We have some new folks that have joined within the last week, so we just want to make sure that everybody is on the same page and marching to the same beat. Um, I'm going to walk over. Yeah, some of this is going to be pretty elementary to a lot of you because you've already heard this. But if this is new, just definitely listen in. I'm going to cover the rules. I'm going to cover setup procedures, and I'm going to cover some tips for making it through the clan wars successfully. Because remember, and I hate how much of a cliche this is, but this is very much a team effort. So we need everybody coming to the clan war with their A game. So no slacking here when we go in. So first things first, let's cover the overview, prep, battle, and the end result. So as far as timing goes, we schedule our matches around 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. That gives us Friday and Saturday to do preparation, and then all of Sunday to do our attacks. So from Saturday night into Sunday to do our attacks, and that's been working out pretty well for us. We maybe get about a few AFKs, but for the most part, that works out pretty well. So what that means is like Saturday is really game day, and everything that you need to do will need to have been done by Saturday. So if you have upgrades that you're planning, try to make it so that your upgrades are done, either that Friday or that Saturday, or at least within gem completion range. Especially if it's something important like a barracks or a big upgrade. So that's setting up. And then as far as preparation is concerned, one of the things that'll happen is when we get our match, uh, Supercell will rank the opposing clan as well as our existing clan based on our levels. And levels, they have their own. The way that they rank all of the members is that's a proprietary algorithm to Supercell. But generally speaking, it has everything to do with what level your heroes are, what level your walls are, what level your troops are, as well as your defenses. And then you get a numerical ranking, and then that's what determines your position in the 1 to 50 ranks. And then the same thing happens with the opposing clan. Uh, from an organizational perspective, if you are rank 10, you will be matched against, or your first target will be their rank 10, and you will have 10 hours to do that. And if you can't do that for whatever reason, just make sure that you note that in the spreadsheet, and so that somebody else can pick that up. But um, what will happen is after, or rather during the preparation phase, one of the first things that we'll do is we'll go in and copy the entire list of of rankings from the enemy clan as well as our clan, and then match them up. Now you can see this in game, so you'll know that as if you scout yourself, you'll see that you're rank 17. Then all you have to do is just go over to the opposing clan and look at their rank 17, and that's your first target. Um, Expect that they will be tougher than you, but again, that's okay. This game is all about pushing the limits of your skill, and believe it or not, you're capable of far more with the tools that you have than you think. So even if you go in and just 1-star 'em or 2-star 'em, just remember that it's important that you at least try. So let me point out a couple of things that have happened in some earlier matches, and none of this is rocket science, and none of this is secret. This is pasted all over Supercell's forums, so I'm not worried about this information being out there. But what happened was, um, from the outset of the war, their top 10 people, which each get 2 attacks, went in and started leveling our bottom 20 people. They figured if they could 3-star the top 20, or the bottom 20, whatever, our ranks 30 through 50, then they would win. What they didn't account for was the fact that we would probably attack every single one of their players, and that's exactly what we did. And we absolutely crushed that group. Not this group, but this one of those first one of those first matches. So central to the strategy is attack your match, and you have 10 hours to do that. After that, we move into the elective phase of attacks, and that is you can start looking for opportunities to try and 2 and 3-star either people above or below your range. But again, it's important for the different classes of rankings, say like 25 to 30, it's important that you guys all coordinate so that if Sananor goes up against X marker and doesn't do it, maybe Unpopular Lizard comes in and tries to 2-star him, or Van Stye comes in and tries to 2-star him or 3-star him, or whatever. We have a lot of guys that are very good with trophy armies, so if we have a particularly tough base, let's definitely sick those attacks on them. So that's that. And then after the elective phase is done, we go into the cleanup phase, and the cleanup phase is really just going in and improving our score, but we'll also save our best attacks for for the last phase, and just make sure that we do the best that we can to improve our score as much as possible. Now, as far as rules for attacks, a couple of things I do want to point out. These should be common sense, but absolutely under no circumstances are you allowed to snipe a town hall for a better bonus. Both on both on a practical level and just a commonsensical level. If try to think of it this way: if Mark is spending upwards of 600,000 elixir to take out Raphael, and then this guy comes in and spends I don't know, a couple thousand elixir to just 2-star this guy at the very in the very early stages of the war. That's a dick move. Everybody needs to come to the match with their A game. Everybody needs to cook trophy armies and do the best that they can to star everyone. If you want to go up against the top guy and he's got an exposed town hall, at least bring a trophy army and see if you can expose some traps for somebody else. For one of the other top guys to go in and try to take them out. But don't just go in there with a farming army. So no archers and barbarians. Go in there with some giants and some wizards and some dragons where possible, and do the best that you can to improve your score as much as possible. So so that's that. Now, as far as base setup is concerned, make them work for their stars. Don't leave any of your town halls exposed. Now, in certain cases, we will allow for that to happen, but that's a strategic move that we'll make. So just know that that's not something that's typical. Where possible, try to find a trophy base that you like, and if you're not sure, just ask in chat. We have a lot of recommendations about bases that have held up against specific types of attacks. And then once we go into the ending stages of the preparation phase, one of the other things that you have to remember is for donations, try not to donate anything for the first 12 hours. Leave the donations for as many of the high-level folks to go in and cook whatever they need to populate as many of the bases as possible. We had a situation once where we had a lot of witches cooked up, but we couldn't stuff them into any of the castles because all the castles had archers in them. Now, as far as donation strategies are concerned, that's something that we'll also cover, but there's an actual mix that we're playing with that has proven to be really effective, to be difficult to lure, but still have the defensive capabilities. It leaves the defensive capabilities intact. So, too long didn't read. Don't donate for the first 12 hours. Let the high-level guys go in and populate as much as possible, and then just come in after that with whatever else that you can donate. But please try to keep the donations to level 5 and higher. Just as a matter of preference, let's say 5 wizards plus 5 archers, or 4 wizards plus 8 archers is better than 6 wizards for one reason alone, and that's because 10 troops are much more difficult to, or 12 troops are much more difficult to lure than 6 troops. So just keep that in mind. What else is there? As far as the actual attacks and defense are concerned, there is a difference between your offensive clan castle and your defensive clan castle. Your offensive clan castle is the one that you attack with. Your defensive clan castle is the one that is populated once, and then once prep day is over, that's it. You're stuck with what you have. That should be pretty obvious there. Now, tips on preparing. Once we enter the preparation phase, you have 24 hours to get your base into position. Within 12 hours of preparation day ending, so if preparation day ends at say 8 p.m. EST, you want to make sure that sometime before then you try to just grab a free shield, just dump your town hall outside and see if somebody attacks you. The other thing that you want to do is you want to dump your gold. You wanna dump your gold into your walls or whatever. Just make sure that you're not a target. And there's a reason behind this. I had a situation where for whatever reason I couldn't attack at my assigned time, and I had to wait till the next morning. And it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. Woke up, went to go attack, realized that I had been attacked, and my clan castle was empty. My dragons were gone. It was just annoying. And now I had to postpone my attack until I got the clan castle filled up. So bear that in mind before you go offline. That your clan castle may not be there when you get back. And just make sure you're budgeting enough elixir for all of your attacks. But as much as possible, try to keep yourself as small a target as possible. Put your hero to sleep, dump whatever resources you can, and just try to coast through the next 12 hours without getting attacked. So that covers all of that. Again, when we do the next when we do the next clan war, you'll see one of these spreadsheets pop up. Use these spreadsheets to go in and call dibs on the secondary attacks as well as the cleanup attacks. Now, from time to time, we will go in and elect people. We'll elect people to go in and actually do certain attacks, but this is how we will coordinate to do that. And obviously, if there is something that you see in the in the bases as you're looking through them, just make sure to point out anything glaring. So maybe they're tweaked, maybe they're under leveled, maybe they rushed their base. Try to see or just try to point out anything obvious that the initial scouts might have missed. So that covers clan wars. Now, one other thing that I did want to point out, there was a question that came in on clan chat. Let's take a look here. So Ryan asked, another new member here, asked if he was weak to dragon attacks or if it was just because his air defense is down for upgrades. He got mass dragon attacked by a tweaked Town Hall 9, and what I would say to this is, his base actually held up pretty well for what it was. These were all level 1 dragons. They all came in the bottom left. Now, one of the things that I do want to point out about this attack is that the way dragon attacks work is not spreading them out. I know that it makes some sense on some level that you would spread them out as much as possible, but really where the speed of dragons come from is when 3 of them are attacking a single structure. I mean, obviously there's a point of diminishing marginal returns, but when you have 5 of them attacking a single storage, it's not going to last very long. So, this particular attacker was lucky in the sense that he was able to get as far as he did, but as soon as he hit the level 4 air defenses, I mean, he started whittling away all of his dragons. So as far as I'm concerned, this base held up extremely well to a dragon attack. If you're going up against level 2 dragons, level 3 dragons, you're going to need something with a little bit more pop. So maybe, level 5 air defenses. Maybe take your air bombs and leave them in the center, just to clear out the core. There's a lot of different ways that you could do this, but this guy 2-starred him, but that's only because his town hall was outside. If it was inside, he probably could have kept him to a couple of stars. So all in all, I would say, your base did well. Your base is an interesting design. It's got good funneling. It's got, your walls are in great shape. Your junctions are in really good shape. I don't know where your town hall is going to fit into this. And it's probably not going to stop a hog attack, but don't sweat it. In clan wars, you're going to get 1 of 3 attacks, and they're all going to be trophy-based attacks. So don't plan against a farming army. Plan against a really, really big army, and plan accordingly. So yeah, I mean, otherwise, I think you did great, and I think your base did great. And with a couple of tweaks, it'll be interesting to see how it handles in the next clan war. So that's about it. I've got a couple of other things I'm working on. If you have any questions or if there's anything you want covered, just drop it in the comments below and I'll be sure to post the video. All right, so stay tuned for the next show.